Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our training today. We are going to be talking about why do you do doTERRA? And this is something that I'm pretty passionate about, and I will be honest with you, as I was putting this together today, I got a little emotional. So I'm hoping that I can keep it together as we're talking, but maybe I would like you to kind of see a little bit and hope that this brings out some of that in you as well. So let's get started. You guys are ready? So what's the big deal about finding out your why? Truly, why do we need to figure that out? I think there's a lot of people in this company who dwell a lot on you need to find your why, what is it? And in the beginning, when I first started with doTERRA, I didn't understand that. I wanted everybody like, just tell me what I need to do. What do I need to teach classes? And I kind of came up with this system of what to do. And it's because I had already figured out what my why was. I just didn't understand the reason why I had that why and that I needed to teach it to other people. I have found that out, and it is so, so important. So important that we're going to do this whole entire training today on finding out your why. So let's just discuss this a little bit, okay? I love this quote. He who has a why can endure any how. So let me explain this a little bit. When I was growing up, I started playing the piano at about the age of 3. And I wanted to go to college. That was a big thing for me, for my family. We go to college, you get a degree, and that's just what you do. And I knew that I wanted to go to college, but I also knew this was going to be very expensive for my family. And I needed to find a way for me to get to college. So the how was get to college. And I knew that I could somehow, but I knew there has to be some way to do it. Okay, so what I learned was when I went to a specific college that I wanted to go to, they had a great musical program there, and I could envision myself being there, being the accompanist for that group, playing for them, and me being at that college. And I wanted to get a scholarship to that specific college. And that motivated me to practice the piano. And I don't know how many of you have ever learned how to play a musical instrument. It's not something that happens overnight. It takes a lot of time, years of practice and making it perfect, getting it down over and over and over again. You can't just sit down and play something and say, wow, I did great at that. I had to do a lot of practicing. And I don't think I would have had that motivation had I not had a really strong why. My strong why was that I wanted to be able to go to that specific college and to have a scholarship because I couldn't afford it. My parents could not afford it. And I worked my behind off to do that. So can you see how that would be so important? My why was so strong that it drove me to practice and to do all of the hard things that it took to be able to get that degree in that college, which I did. I went to college on a scholarship, and I did not pay for anything to get to school. And it worked. And I did not know at the time how important it was for me to have that really, really strong why of what I was going to do. So I want you to kind of think back maybe in your lives. Is there anything that you were successful at? Why? Why were you so successful at it? Is it because you had a purpose? You were driven to have something accomplished? And maybe you look back and go, yeah, I did have that, but you didn't know that you even had that. And sometimes we have this in our lives, and I think it's really important for us to discover it because in this business, there's so many things that are dependent on us finding out our why. There are things in this business that kind of can be a little frustrating, and they might take you down a notch and make you decide, why am I doing this? Because in the beginning, you don't make a lot of money. You are working really hard, but your paychecks are small. That might make you cause to think, why am I doing this? You have to know what that is. What's that purpose? This is really important to look at. When you have your purpose or your why, and you keep that right in the center of what you're doing, then it helps you know what your talents are. You are driven to find your talent. Just for me, I was driven to be able to play the piano and to do it well. That drove me in a huge way. Passions. What was I passionate about? I would have never found what my passions in life were if I didn't have a purpose or a why. Skills and enterprise. What are your skills? It's your why or your purpose that drives you to find out those skills and purpose. And your values. The things that you value in your life right now. For me, I value my family. I value spending time with them. I value helping them, being with them. And that's because my purpose is so strong in that I want a good life for them. I want them to grow up and to be people that make a difference in this world. That's my purpose. And that makes my value so strong. So this all comes together. And if you look at this and say, I just want to have a talent of this, but you don't have a purpose behind it, it's not going to drive you to actually do something. You can't have a passion without a purpose. So that purpose and that why has to be the central part of everything that you do in this life. And I think if you look at something in your life that you failed at, you didn't do so well at, most likely it was because you didn't have a purpose for it. You never found a reason why you needed to get up every morning and do that. So I have a video that I want you to watch. And let me turn this off just for a little bit so that I can pull that up. So I'm going to stop share just for a little bit, everybody, and then share again to a different screen. So just hold on for just a little bit. There we go.
It's called How Do I Know? And a lot of times when people hear the phrase, how do I know? The next thing they say is what? How do I know what? But the key really isn't to know what. The key is to know why. Because when you know your why, you have options on what your what can be. For instance, my why is to inspire people to walk in purpose. My what is stand-up comedy. My what is writing books. My what can be going out with some friends to eat. In fact, another what that has moved me towards my why is a web series that we have out now called Break Time. So every Wednesday at 3 o'clock, you should subscribe to the channel. We do a series called Break Time on YouTube. So 3 o'clock, we drop a new episode. One episode in particular, I'm about to show you a clip to. We're in Winston-Salem. So Break Time, this is how it works. I travel the country. I do stand-up comedy, probably an hour, hour and a half at an event. And in the middle of my show, I'll just sit down and start talking to the audience. And funny just happens. Or I'll meet somebody who's really interesting. So I met this one guy, and he said that he teaches music at a school. I was like, all right, you teach music, you know, can you sing? And then I'm just going to show you the clip. Check it. So you're a musical director. Yes, sir. All right, so let me get a couple bars of like Amazing Grace. Can you do the first part of that? Go ahead. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Wow. That bro could sing. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, what you give it a version is if your uncle just got out of jail, you got shot in the back when you was a kid. I'm just saying, let me see the hood version real quick, if you know the version I'm talking about, to see if that exists. Let me see what you got. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Right now I'm found I see. So here's the thing. The first time I asked him to sing, he knew what he was doing. The second time I asked him to sing, he knew why he was doing it. When you know your why, your what has more impact because you're walking in or towards your purpose.
Okay, let me get out of here and I'm going to do a stop share and bring you back to the regular screen here. Okay, I hope that inspires you as much as it did me. Did you hear that amazing voice that he had when he knew why he was singing that song? That's what we want. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And what you are going to come away with in this little exercise that we're doing is your strong why as to what is the reason I'm doing doTERRA. And it can't be about money, because money isn't going to be enough. Money will not carry you far enough to go through those times that might be a little bit difficult, those bumps in the road, those things that happen that will make us want to quit. So let's move on. I'm going to have you take out a pen and a piece of paper, and I want you all to participate. And at the end, you're going to be sharing with us what you have learned. So be prepared to truly get out that piece of paper and that pen and fully participate in this very interactive activity, okay? I want you to take your paper out, and I want you to do it in this shape. Don't do it, I don't know what this is called. Is it called the long way? You guys are going to learn a lot about me. Not the tall way, but the long way. Just exactly how it is on this picture here. Someone in the chat's going to tell me the right way, huh? Landscape. Thank you, Melissa. Pull it out and do it landscape. All right. And on the bottom of that paper, I want you to draw an arched line, very similar to this right here. You need to make sure that you leave enough room, because you're going to be drawing other things up on top. So you need to leave that line right at the bottom. So just go ahead and take your pencil and draw a little arched line. And then under that line, I want you to write down all of the things that you do in a day. Okay? Make it a very thorough list and don't leave anything out. This might take you a while, so I want you to truly put effort into this. Start writing. If you have a full-time job, write that on there. Anything you do with the kids, feeding them lunch, if you send out emails, you check your phone, getting on Facebook. What is it that you do every single day? And it's important that you make this very thorough. I don't want you to leave anything out. Now, I know that we're doing this on a video, so you're probably going to feel the urgency to do it quickly. Let me give you some ideas, okay? So maybe you take the kids to school, fixing lunch. Maybe some of you do mentor calls. And if you belong to the PTA and you support that and you go to those meetings. How many of you go to the post office, drop things off? How many of you are cleaning your house every day? Making phone calls, putting together webinars, answering emails, feeding your kids, holding classes. Okay, just keep writing as they come to your head. I would even start at the beginning of the day and think, okay, I get up, I do this, and then I do that, and just keep writing, okay? What errands are you running? Do you do conference calls? Getting on a training call every Friday, right? You do those things. How about your power hour? You're making those phone calls, you're following up with people, you're scheduling classes, you are calling your host for the class to make sure that they are on top of it. You're making phone calls, you're delivering samples, you're doing recognition, okay? Fill out this part with everything you possibly can think of that you do in one day, okay? And I would do different things on different days, and you can put fun stuff in there too. Okay, I'm gonna check in the chat and see if there's any questions. Okay, nope, no questions yet. Keep writing, keep filling it out. I will give you just another minute or so. Write fast. Keep going. If you think you missed anything, put it down, fill it out, write it all in here. This is very, very important for the next activity. So we don't want you to leave anything out. Some of you may take care of your parents. I know there's a few out there. Some of you may be driving your kids, picking them up from school, eating lunch, fixing lunch, cleaning the toilet. Okay, let's move on. So in the chat section, I want you to share with me some of the things that you wrote down. Okay, so everybody just go to the chat section right now. Let's just kind of share with everybody, and I will read them. And tell me some of the things that you do on a daily basis. All right. I am meditate. Okay, Dina puts meditate. What else? What did you write down on your paper? So Melissa put she has a full-time job, she does in marketing, and then she has a part-time job, which is her photography. Gives lots of hugs and kisses to her little boy. Cute. Okay, what else are we doing during the day? That is not a very long list. Keep typing, everyone. Put them in there. Let's share. All right, good. We've got them coming in. Shopping for dinner, mowing the lawn. Oh, yes, mowing the lawn. Checking on your parents, getting ready to work. This person works the night shift. Their power hour, doing classes, class prepping, social media posts for your business. Awesome. Dancing. I love that. Dancing. Sharing your essential oils. Encouraging lover. Okay, encourage lover. Oh, okay, so you're going to encourage maybe a spouse or somebody in your life. Good. Family, friends, working with your team, prayers for your team. I love that. Playing doorman to the dog, letting him in and out. That is definitely something you have to do every day. Taking care of your animals, your full-time job, your part-time job, your kids, emailing, posting on Facebook, taking care of your parents, grocery shopping. Oh my gosh, I need that on my list. I do not like doing that. Grocery shopping, making food, driving places, being on Facebook, mentor calls, playing outside, changing diapers. Yes, those of you who have little kids, lots of diaper changing. Mentor calls, working out, shower, driving kids to school, media posts for your business, talking with your downline, your friends, power hour, Facebook, meditating, worrying. Okay. Prepping children for their school, for their daycare, running errands, feeding your animals, fixing meals. You guys are good. This is awesome. Making roller bottles. As I'm reading these, if there's something you like, oh, I missed that, I want you to write it down. Write in that space. Shopping online or in stores, taking your brother to the store, church, going to the bank. Yes. Checking Facebook messages, FaceTime with your downline. Paying bills, catching up with the news, dusting, taking your vitamins. Thank you. Making lots and lots of coffee. Awesome, Mark. Praying, laughing, smiling, following up with your family and friends, doing your business seeds, continuous learning and being, reading videos, mentor calls, homeschooling. Wow, Becky, you do homeschool. Awesome. Encouraging things on Facebook for your team, paying bills, praying again, preps for your team meeting. Okay, I think we have a really good, thorough list here. You guys did awesome. Okay, hopefully your lists are there, ready, and you got them all, and you feel like you have a really good amount of things written on there. Okay, so we're going to move on. Here's what I want you to do next. You're now going to draw another line. This line you're going to do just like this, right on top of the second line. And once you have drawn this line, I then want you to think of this. If all of these things right here that you just wrote down below, you no longer had to do. They were completely taken care of for you. Whether you hired somebody, somebody came in to do them, whatever it may be, doesn't matter. You no longer had to do them. They were completely wiped off your list. You woke up one morning and realized, I no longer have to take the kids to school, make them meals, go to the post office, clean house, be on Facebook, do my recognition. It was all done for you. Then, how would you spend your time? What would you do? All that's taken away, and you now get to decide on what do I really truly want to do today? Not what you have to do. What do you want to do? What is your heart telling you you want to do? Where would you go? Who would you call? Would you get in the car and drive somewhere? Would you stay home? Would you work on something that you haven't done in a long time? Would you take out a musical instrument that you hadn't been doing and start it up again? Would you contact someone? Would you call your husband, your wife, your spouse, your friend, whoever it might be that's a part of your life? And would you call them up and say, let's go do this? And what would this be? Okay, I want you to be also very thorough, and I want you to dream here. Okay, here's some ideas of things you might do. Spend time with your family, serve more, teach, travel with the spouse, go back to school, start your own nonprofit, teach others how to improve their health. What is your dream? What is it you want to do? Would you write a book? Tell something about your life, something about a training you've always wanted to do. Would you volunteer more? What about be a life coach? Maybe you can have something you feel like I need to contribute to the world. Would you take out an instrument and start working on it? Fulfill your own dreams. What are they? Would you actually start working on them instead of doing all the mundane tasks that we do every day? Would you help others fulfill their dreams? Maybe you go back to school. Maybe you decide, you know what, I've always wanted to learn how to paint. I'm going to go back and take an art class. I want you to dream. Give yourself a chance to dream. What does your heart truly desire to do? Okay. Once you have filled in this section, again, I want you to go to the chat and share with us what you wrote down in the second section. Now, this might take, I'm not going to say might, it will take a little bit longer because it's easy for us to write down all of the things that we do every single day. It's easy to remember that, right? Yep, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this. But to actually take that away and let our minds dream and do something different, it's a little bit harder because we don't do that. We don't give ourselves the time and chance to actually dream and think of what we really want to be doing. So this might take a little bit more time for you, but I will give you that time. Now, I don't want any of the things that I wrote on here to take away from what you truly want to do. These are just ideas. You get to decide what it is you want to do. What is your heart telling you? Okay, so if you have some things you've written down, let's go to the chat section. I want to hear, what are they? Okay, so Mark wrote down, I would travel, I would write, I would plan, I would dream. I would spend time concentrating on fulfilling things, not just tasks. Okay, Melissa wrote, more time with my mom, my dad, my siblings, full-time photography, traveling with her family, more time with Easton, and he wouldn't be in daycare. That tells me a lot that you valued your son and you want to be with him, right? You would make or do some good, a nonprofit. I think that means she would start a nonprofit, do some good in the world. Brooke said, travel with family. She'd start an orphanage. I love that. She would read more. Okay, I want you guys to go a little bit deeper here, okay? These are all awesome, so now I'm going to think even deeper. Okay, so traveling with your family, you could do once. So Diane wrote, share an aroma touch with a lonely senior, a homeless person, a sick person, maybe start an Alzheimer's facility, love that. Host a weekly cancer support group, oh, amazing. So you must have a personal experience with that, Diane, that you want to share with the world, is that right? I love these. Keep them coming. I want to hear. What is it that you would do if you could truly do your heart desires and you got to take the chance to dream? What would you do? Okay, Carrie says, travel with family. She would spend months with her extended family. She'd create a website and a course and finish some courses she started before. She'd inspire others with life. She'd help some friends in need. I love this. You guys have such good hearts. Okay, Becky said she'd spend more time with her family that's out of state. She'd travel. She'd meet up with her kids more often. She might scrapbook all the photos from her kids. She'd write a book about her son's leukemia. Wow, that's inspiring me right there, Becky. Okay, do you guys see why I got emotional as I was doing this? She'd paint more. She'd volunteer more at her church. She'd travel. She'd go on a cruise. Sherry says that she would share doTERRA full time. She'd go around the world, travel along with Dr. Hill with her family in tow. I love that. Judy wants to help people in animal shelters, do more service work, travel more with her family, go on a cruise. Diane says she'd buy a new roaming thermographic camera to help more people who cannot get to us. Oh, that's great. Genealogy, Mark Liddell says, spending more time traveling to see family. Dina says, travel on a church history site, live life with their kids more, and enjoy whatever they do, find a way to help those in need. Mark, I think my wife would adopt more animals. I love that. It takes time to take care of animals. You have to have the time to do that. Very good. I love how so many of you have on here spending time with your family, with children. You're making memories with them. Doing things that are going to be helping other people. I love there's so much service work on here. Volunteer work, traveling, a lot mentioned with family, helping people who are sick, Alzheimer's, cancer, dancing, singing, playing, writing songs and books, quality time with their aging parents who are here. Start an intergenerational movement group. That is amazing. Love that. Have a bigger house with land to build photo studio. So Melissa, one of your dreams is to have your own photo studio. Love that. So can you see how this truly opens up your mind to think, what is it I truly want to do with my life? Not just the mundane everything. What do I really, truly want to do? What do I want to be? Okay, so let's move on to this next part. So what I want to do, what you should do is take the words that you wrote here, and I want you to find all of those power and emotion words, okay? So I wrote some up here to kind of give you an idea. Inspire, did you write that word down on something? Empower others, did anybody write that word down? That's a strong power emotion word that you want to write on top. Serve, I know many of you put down the word serve. Write that and put it on top. Dream, did you put dream? Coaching others. Did anybody want to teach others how to improve their health? That's an awesome one. Do you want to help lead others? What is it? What are those emotion power words? I want you to take those all and just kind of write them up here on top. We want those to stand out and tell you something a little bit more about who you are deep down. Because when you find those strong emotion and power words, that tells you a lot about who you are deep down, not on the surface. These things right here are what we do on the surface. This right here in the second level is what we are deep down in our heart. That's where we need to be living, is in our heart. Okay, so have you guys taken the time and written those words up there? Circle some of them that really are strong for you. What are they? Once you find out what these words are, you have found your true purpose or your true why. This is who you are. This is what you want to accomplish, what you want to do in your life. And so many times we get stuck in the mundane parts of life that we don't go down to that part of us that truly dreams. And so when we're looking and trying to find what is my why, what is my purpose in life, many times you just have to take out those items that are really kind of taking over our life. It's not the things we really want to do, the things we have to do, but it's not really what we want. Move them out of the way and concentrate on these dreams, because this is your purpose. This is your why. This is who you are deep down. And this is what's going to drive you to do more, to be more, and to want to keep pushing forward when you hit a wall, when you hit something that's really hard that makes you think, why am I doing this? Why is this so hard? There's so much things in life that get us down, and we stop because of the mundane things that we're doing every single day, and we forget about the heart. We forget about the things that we truly want to be doing. The what is your daily tasks. I want you to just move those out and find your why. Find your true purpose. So I want to share something with you. When I started doTERRA, I had a strong purpose. I had a strong why. Some of you have heard this, but I'll share a little bit for those who haven't. Mine was to get out of debt, to get my kids to be able to start back and doing things that would help them. We were just living paycheck to paycheck, and to have that huge amount of debt off of our shoulders. And more so than that, that sounds a lot like money, but to be able to have the freedom to be able to do what we wanted. I needed to be out of debt, and all of those things we accomplished. And that was a very strong why for me. And it all surrounded around my family. And I love my family. I love being with them. And I told you earlier, I want to make sure that I make a difference in my children's lives of who they become later on. I want them to be somebody who changes other people's lives. That to me was so important as a mother. And that's what drove me in doTERRA, to be able to have that freedom to get all that mundane stuff out of the way. Well, we reached that. We are out of debt. We don't have a lot of things that we have to pay for. My kids are doing the things they want to do. My little daughter is in tons of art classes. My son, the things that we have wanted to accomplish, we accomplished. And so I had to start all over again. Once I found my purpose and my why, I realized I need something new, and I kind of lost my purpose. I went through about a 6-month time where I couldn't figure out, why am I still doing this? Once somebody makes a good amount of income in their life and they have accomplished their dreams or traveling, what do you then do? You need to come up with a new one. I have to tell you, I truly had to work really hard to find out with this, and I know what it is. And this drives me every single day of my life. I know the struggles that people have in their life. I lived them. The majority of my life, I lived them. It's only been the past year or two that I've actually been able to do something different. But I want, and I am driven to find other people who are out there who may have lived a life like mine and help them and pull them out of that and be that person that was the driving force behind what changed them, what helped them get out of who they are. So I want to find 10 people I can change their lives. Who in doTERRA can I change their life? That is my purpose, and that is my why. And every time I wake up in the morning, that's what I'm looking at. Who can I help today? Who can I change? What can I do? And what resources do I have that can help that person? So I'm going to hear from each of you. I want you to inspire me. Let's inspire each other. So I'm going to open up the line. So if you have any noise in the background right now, if you could kind of turn it off and maybe not unmute yourself. But I want you to share with us, inspire with us. What did you find from doing this exercise? Tell us what your purpose and your why is. So I'm going to stop share here, and I'm going to open up the lines for everybody. Okay. Uh-oh. Somebody's not happy. So sorry. Okay, let's see if someone has that child. Mute yourself. I don't know who that is. I think I need to unmute the line again. Okay. That did not work so well. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's do this in the chat. I think that's going to work out better for everybody. So let's go to the chat lines. And I want everybody to tell me just a little bit, what did you find out here? I would like to have an open discussion with everyone where we kind of see each other. I'm not sure if that will happen or not, but let's try this in the chat line and maybe we can open up a little bit more. So Sherry wrote she would like to support veteran families, and especially families with soldiers overseas. Good. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit. From everything that you wrote down, condense it all. Who are you? What is it that you want to accomplish? Now, from what I wrote there, I have found that I want to be a servant leader. I want to be somebody who serves others. I want to be a leader that can help somebody do something different with their life. Okay. Okay, Dina has a great idea. She says, have each person unmute themselves. So if that's a great idea, Dina, thank you. So if there's something that you want to share with us, go ahead and unmute yourself. I'm going to put this in gallery view so we can all see you. There you go. So if there's somebody who's had something that they want to share with us, please do. I don't want to be the only one talking here. And you have found, yeah, this is my purpose. This is what I want to do. I gave you the ability to unmute yourself and share that with us. What is it? What did you find out? Who wants to go first? I am okay to wait.
Hi, this is Melissa. I guess I'll go first.
Yes, I'm Melissa. Go ahead.
What I learned is, clearly family is at the top of the list. I don't want to be sending my son to daycare anymore. Sorry, I get a little emotional too.
I hear you. Keep going. It's okay.
I don't want somebody else to take care of him. I want to do that. And when I'm not spending time with him, I do have a passion for photography, and I actually have become very dedicated and so interested in the doTERRA business. So that's actually become a big passion of mine as well. So I think that, if I was able to spend, the quality time that I want with my family, and then in the background also work on the other two passions that I have, that would make me like the happiest person. So Me, it's family, laughing, playing, you know, being an owner, a leader, you know, and not only just owning my own business and leading, you know, people on that side of it, but, you know, teaching my son and empowering him to be the man that, you know, I would expect him to be. So those are kind of my top things.
I love that. Thank you, Melissa. That was awesome. Okay, is there anybody else that wants to inspire us a little bit? Maybe I go next. So Mark says he's still thinking deeply on this, and he can see how this would help him to quit getting dragged down. Love that. And again, this really is something you need to dig deep, and right now may not give you enough time to do that. It's okay if you feel like you need to take some time and figure that out. Diane says she has noise here. She's muted herself, but every day she can see people in her medical therapy. Let me go to the chat a little bit. In her medical thermography practice, they all want to get better and may not know how to. She wants them to help find simple, natural solutions to everything from cancer to headaches and emotional support. They don't need to rely on so many pharmaceuticals or uneven surgery just so often. When thermography and doTERRA, we have tools and educations. We're changing lives every single day. It's beautiful, fascinating, and humbling every single day. I love that. Okay, so Joe says, part of my why is to offer financial support to my family, his parents, his nieces, siblings, so that their lives are much more comfortable. Love that, Joe. Joe, that tells you a lot about your heart and who you are, and deep down where you lie. Love that. I love hearing what motivates other people. Okay, so Dina said, I'd love to be a health coach and teach others how to help themselves with good food and oils, traveling and spend lots of time with my family. Awesome. So she wants to serve other people. Excellent. So something I want to share with you. We all have that ability to do that. Every single person on here and those who are listening have that ability to do this. And it is through doTERRA. It's just a matter of us actually believing in it and doing what it takes and keeping our why truly in front of us and not letting anything else get in our way, all the fluff that happens in our life. Just keep going, keep working, and keep trying. And all that stuff that gets in the way is just the stuff. Go down deep in your heart and find your real reason. What's pushing you? What's your purpose? That's what's going to drive you. So anybody else who wants to share that I missed?
This is Judy Stevens. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Judy. Thank you. I would love to hear from you. Go ahead, Judy. Okay, we're not hearing you now. I don't know if you muted yourself, but we no longer can hear you. Okay, sorry, I don't know what happened there, Judy. We heard you for a while and then you were gone. Okay, there's more in the chat. Becky says, my kids are almost grown, only one 15-year-old at home now. I'd like to see them more often, but understanding they need to lead their own lives. I have a heart for widows and orphans, would like to send financial support to them. I'd like to teach others how doTERRA can help them improve their health with their health and what I'm doing now. Love that. Love that. You know, one of the best things about the situation that we're in right now is that every single month I have money set aside to help somebody. And I love that that's not a financial burden for us. I can just find someone who needs this. Who can I help? How can I bless somebody's life? That to me is that is so worth working doTERRA and the challenges that it took to get to the level that we are at, so that I don't have that on my shoulders and I'm able to help somebody else get out of their situation as well. So anybody else would like to share with us? I don't want to cut you off if you had something that you wanted to talk about. By the way, we're going to be talking a little about this at the retreat. So those of you who are attending, you will get a little bit more information on this. Those of you who are not, join us and let's do this. Let's talk a little more. Let's explore it. All right, I'm going to turn the share screen back on. I think there's one last thing on here. Okay, there we go. The last thing is next week's topic is overcoming obstacles. So isn't that a great way to end this one? If you're having obstacles you need to overcome, what are you going to do about them? So you now have your why, you're strong on it. There's going to be obstacles that come in your way. Let's talk about those next week. So thank you all for being on the call. I love learning from you. I love being inspired from you. And I can't wait to hear more about what your why is and what you are going to do with your life and how you've dug deep down to find out what is your purpose. So thank you all. We will see you next week. Talk to you later.